Thickosaurs Podcast. Alrighty, Thickosaurs episode 4, take 1.
I don't want to really clap.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Thickosaurs Podcast. Whoa!
Whoa. Episode 4.
Episode 4. So today we will
Woo.
we will be talking about the topic of coming of age. So by the time this podcast comes out, I will be 30.
Dun dun dun. 30. I don't know if you can hear me clapping, but
It's the dirty 30.
Yes. So I wanted to do a topic of, coming of age, meaning that, like, are you where you wanted to be at this age?
no.
Yeah. So I think it's a good topic to talk about, so yeah. I'll go ahead and go first if that's okay with y'all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take the reins.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take the reins on this. So
Did you just pew pew?
I just Kevin Harted it, yes.
okay, so I turned 30 on January the 24th. I personally feel like I am not where I wanted to be by the time I was 30. Growing up, I always wanted to have kids young. Like, maybe, I think, like, my goal was, like, by 25.
Like, have all of your
No,
kids?
not all of my kids.
Or
No,
at least
just
one?
one. At
Oh.
least one.
Mhm.
By the time I was 25. And I remember one of my my guy friends, he was like, "You want a kid by 25?" And I was like, "Yeah, because I feel like, not really like the younger you are, but like it's just easier to take care of kids when you're younger, And so that's my thought at that time. And so, because I asked him, I was like, "Aren't you?" Because he's white, okay, and so his parents were pretty old when they had him. So by the time he was like a teenager, they were like already kind of old, and he couldn't keep up. Like, his dad couldn't keep up with him a little bit, like with sports and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so he's like, "Oh, okay, no, I see what you're talking about, because my dad had troubles with me, playing with me or doing sports with me because he was old. He had me at an older age, kind of thing." And so he's like, "So I can see why you want kids by 25, And so, yeah, so I always wanted kids, or at least my first kid, by 25. And then 24 came around, and I'm like, that's not happening. Yeah, it's not happening. And I'm like, okay, maybe 27. And then, like, 29. And I'm like, Melissa, you're 30 now. Like, I don't even know if I want kids anymore at this point. Kind of thing. It's one of those, I guess, whatever happens, kind of thing now. I mean, I would like to have a kid. Maybe like 2 or 3, but
Just 2.
yeah, like I said, I
Max.
don't know, but like I think it's also whatever happens. Because I know with Chow, when he asked me, because he was like, "Melissa, at your age now, 30, and you met a guy who's a little bit older, and he doesn't want to have kids, but this guy is like everything that you wanted, but the only thing is
He
doesn't want kids. Would you still stay with him?" And I'm just like, I don't know. It's hard because, again, I don't know what my mindset will be then. But I know now I would still like to have kids. But I don't know what my mindset would be then. Like, whenever I meet that person. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I think when he was asking you, he meant like right then and there.
Yeah. And so I think for me, right then and there, I would say yes, I would still like to have a kid or 2. Like right now, yes.
I was going to ask, like, if you were to ask him if there was a reason why, and if he had kids previously. is why.
Well, like we said it as like he is your ideal guy, no kids before. He just doesn't want kids.
Oh, okay.
Like he just doesn't want kids.
I didn't hear the no kids.
Oh yeah,
part.
sorry. It's just he's your ideal guy, no previous kids, no previous marriage, whatever. But he just doesn't want to have kids.
So
Would
that
you
that's
stay
a
with him?
deal breaker for you then.
Probably, yeah. Right now,
Oh, at this moment, yeah.
at this moment, yes.
Okay.
And so, yes, this whole becoming of age thing, it's just things like that. Like, are you happy with your life now at the age you are now? Or, like, were there, like, goals and aspirations that you guys wanted to do before you got to this age kind of thing? Because for me, personally, I felt like, I know a lot of people are like, well, your 20s is finding yourself kind of thing. I honestly feel like I found myself late in my 20s. Maybe it's just because I know I'm a late bloomer with a lot of stuff. And so I'm like, I personally feel like I found myself late because you see all these like 21-year-olds, 22-year-olds, you know, like with a lot of self-confidence. They know who they are kind of thing. And I'm just like, I kind of feel, again, a late bloomer where, you know, it took me this long to find myself, you know, kind of thing. And so that's why I'm just asking this question for us and for everybody. You know, are you where you wanted to be by this time of your age?
So then, did you answer your own question? Because I know you said that you were given that. So is it no for you then?
Yeah, for me, yes, it would be no, I'm not where I wanted to be.
Okay.
By the time I was 30.
Does it bother you?
A little bit. There's some dreams and stuff where I feel like, dang, I should have done it when I was younger. Like, for instance, like music and things like that. Which, honestly, now that I think about it, it shouldn't really have to do with age, honestly.
Right.
But at the same time, I just felt like now I'm just like, oh, I'm too tired. You know, or like, because sometimes adulting is tiring, you know,
It
especially
is.
when you have, you know, a big job. And so like adulting is tiring, you know, and so it's kind of like, dang, I should have done this whenever we were younger or whenever we were in college, you know, but at the same time, we didn't have money when we were in college, you know. So for me, it's kind of like, yes, I'm happy that I am where I am by the time I'm 30. But at the same time, I'm kind of sad, too, that I didn't do things that I wanted before I was 30. Yeah.
So then, would you say that like, yeah? So then you're like, it's a no. You're not where you're at, but you're like.
But I'm happy.
You're happy
that
yeah.
I'm finally realizing it now, I guess you can say. But I'm still I'm sad.
There's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
grieving the part of your life that you wish that you would have done things. You know, as long as you're acknowledging it, then I think you'll be okay.
Yeah. Because I was like, you know, thinking about when I was 29, thinking about the whole year, I was like, you know, I'm actually sad. Again, sad that you're kind of leaving your 20s. But now that I am 30, it's kind of like, what was it? Dang it, I just lost it. Damn, I lost it. It's just out of my head. Sorry, come back to me.
Okay. Well, I want to kind of come off of what you said about how there's nothing wrong with grieving old dreams that you've never got to realize. This doesn't have to do with me. It's more of my husband, Chow, about, you know, grieving dreams that he can never realize. I know he struggled with that for a while, especially maybe like the last 2-3 years, I believe. Yeah, it's when he started to struggle with the idea of like he never realized that he actually did have some dreams that he wanted to pursue, but he didn't realize just how much he wanted to do it until we had kids, and then he started to feel like his life was kind of dull and meaningless because he hasn't done anything, you know, great with himself.
Right.
So that's where the whole picking back up his photography thing came from, and picking up acting gigs and stuff like that, because the thought of acting was great to him, was fun to him. It was like one of his deep down, I guess, dreams that he always wanted. And so he did try that for a while, but the more he did it, the more he realized, like, maybe it's not the right time to do it at this point in my life, because it's kind of like I'm already this age, 30s. So it's going to be hard for me to get what do you call it? Yes, gigs and spots in movies and stuff. So he had a hard time letting it go, but he did finally, come around and realize, it's sad that I didn't get to pursue this dream, but, I'm okay with it, because right now it just doesn't work. It may not ever work. So he was just glad to, like, be able to do little bits here and there. So, but yeah, you saying that just kind of reminded me of that. So, yeah. So if you do have dreams that you have not realized or haven't been able to realize, it's okay to let them go and be okay with that, or you can, put it on the back burner, and maybe some later on in life when you're more stable or have more time, you can revisit it. So, but yeah, just you shouldn't beat yourself up because of that, because you didn't get to live out a certain dream or whatnot. Maybe it was just not the right time in your life to do it. So, or maybe you were meant to do something else that's greater. So it's just good to, look at it from an outside point of view, and just realize that, hey, I can put this on hold and revisit later. So.
Yeah. So I can't get mad at present you making the decision to take a break. But yeah.
Yeah, it just sucks though that, like, that's like the social pressure is that, you're old, or you're too old to do this, or you're 30 now, you should at least, like, have a house or something, which we all know in this
economy
that's not gonna happen at all. But I think it's just like the social pressures, especially us being girls, being Hmong women, being girls, okay, being women, okay, it's a lot of pressure, especially coming from, again, social people, coming from parents, coming from
elders in general.
Yeah, constantly pushing, oh, Melissa, when you're going to get married, you're 30. You're technically like an old lady. Nobody's going to want you because, you're old. And honestly, it didn't, like, it used to hurt me back then. But now that, like, I want to say maybe like, whenever I was 25, I didn't really care much about it anymore, because I'm just like, you know what? F y'all. I got my degree. I got my papers.
Independent.
Yeah, I got my own place. I got, money coming in for myself, so it's just a lot of, F you, I don't need a man kind of thing,
I don't need a man. I don't need a man.
And so, but then at the same time, I'm still, I guess, shredding and still grieving all of that thinking, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people who maybe are listening, probably feel the same. Or because I know sometimes some people don't realize what I'm realizing until they're like 50. So that's why I'm like, I'm sad for myself, but at the same time, I'm happy for myself that I'm realizing some of these things pretty young.
And learning to, like, move on a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. And then, that's what I was thinking. It came back into my head that a lot of people don't make it to 30. A lot of people pass before they're 30 because their 20s were just so hard that they don't make it to 30. Or sometimes something just horribly happens and they don't make it to 30. And so I think that's what another thing in my mind was, Melissa, you made it to 30. Like, oh my God, So that's a good thing for y'all who are afraid of turning 30. You made it to 30. Not a lot of people are able to make it here. you know. But yeah, I was wanting to be married. I wanted to have kids. I wanted to be very domesticated
Yeah.
by 30. That was my old mindset, until
And there's nothing wrong with that if you do
Yeah.
want to
Yeah, there's
domesticate.
nothing
yeah,
wrong.
sorry, yeah, there's nothing
And
wrong with
it's
that.
just that
That was
that's
just
your
all I
thing.
knew.
Yeah. So.
That's all that I knew, and that's all that I knew what my worth was, to learn how to be a good daughter, learn how to be a good wife, find a husband, get married, have kids. And so, but now, again, being a 30-year-old Hmong woman, there's more to that. I can live for myself. I can pay for myself, be independent for myself kind of thing. And so, yeah. What about y'all? What do you guys feel? Being your guys' age now, were there any goals that you guys wanted before your age now? Or did you meet that goal? Are you happy where you are?
Oh, yeah, because when this episode airs, it's already going to be in.
It's going to be the end
Yeah,
of January. Yeah.
My answer as the oldest in this group, 35.
So young.
Yeah, so young.
Shut up.
It is, though.
I'm not
It
being
is really
sarcastic.
young.
I'm being serious.
I know.
Yeah. All my coworkers are like, "Oh, you're so young," and I'm like, "Really? I feel old." And they're like, "No, that's young."
Yeah.
It is. I agree with your coworkers because I'm like that too. Whenever I meet someone who's like super young,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, oh my god. It's like I understand why older people say that now.
Yeah.
But for me, being 35, it's kind of like, yes, I'm happy, but also no, I'm not happy of where I'm at. And I think it's because since this kind of goes with being Hmong, being a girl, and also being the eldest girl in my family, a lot of pressure was on me, of course. And like Melissa said, all I knew growing up was to be a good daughter, a good wife, a good mother, and whatnot. And so all I could think of was finding a guy, a boyfriend who would eventually turn into my husband. And then after marriage, it was my kind of my duty or my job to hurry up and have kids. So of course I was like, had the same thought as Melissa. I wanted to have kids young, kind of have them back to back, and that way you're done, type of thing. So yeah, I wanted to have my first kid by 25, which I did, but now that I have 3 kids and I'm 35, my youngest is 2, mind you. So I have a 10, a 5, and a 2-year-old. And now that I'm thinking about it, it's kind of like, I'm kind of glad I didn't have them back to back, because just handling them right now at their ages, I think back, it's like, oh my God, if I had like a 4-2 and a newborn, yeah, ain't no way in hell I'm going to be able to survive that.
Just with Kyrie and Amina, since they're only like a year apart, that's already a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
yes.
2 under 2. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, 2 under 2. Woo! Yeah. So, rewinding back a little bit. Yeah, so I have 3 kids now, and I'm 35. And because I chose to get married at a young age and to have kids at a young age, I didn't do anything else with my life after that. Because all that was drilled into my head was like, be a good mom. You have to be a good mom. You have to be a good wife. So that's all I was. I did go to college, but I only got like an associate's in applied science. And I worked in the veterinary medical field as kind of like the nurse aspect of it. So I did that for a few years before I got pregnant with my first. And then I quit that altogether to be a good mom, be a housewife, a homemaker, stay-at-home mom type of thing. So I was kind of, since then, I was kind of on and off working and being a stay-at-home mom, just depending on what our situation was at home. And now that I think about it and look back, it's kind of like, well, shit, I didn't do anything with my life. besides birth babies and be a mom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so being 35 and like not having, say, a career or anything else to my life, it's kind of sad. Not saying that there's anything wrong with that for those of you who live this kind of life. You know, if you're perfectly happy, then great, I'm happy for you. But there are some women out there like me who often think about what my worth truly is, because I have nothing
To offer.
to show,
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't do anything with my life,
Right.
because I was so busy trying to get married, become a wife and a mother, that I didn't see that I could have been doing other things, like traveling, for instance, or maybe going back to school, becoming something else, or whatever else, pursuing whatever dreams that I had. Which, sadly, again, because of being a Hmong daughter, I didn't have any dreams.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how to have dreams for myself.
Right.
Because, again, that was just pounded into our heads so much to where it just wasn't a thought. Now, I'm not creating excuses for now, but that is kind of what kicked it off, where I don't know what I would want to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so yeah, I'm sad. I'm not happy where I'm at because I kind of don't know where I'm at,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest. But I am happy because, you know, I love my husband. I love my kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I love being a mom and a wife. But just like a lot of moms and wives out there, it's like I like to be something else besides just those two roles. Like I know I'm something else besides that.
Yeah.
So it's hard thinking about it, because again, I'm 35, and 5 more years I'm gonna be freaking 40. So it's like I'm gonna be 40 in 5 years and still not know what to do in my life.
No, you will know. We're gonna speak it into existence. So
Yeah.
we're gonna say by the time you're 40, you already will know, because you have a successful life that you had planned out. So, girl, quit that thinking. Let's change the wording around.
Mm-hmm.
Let's change it.
But yeah, I know, because whenever I was doing Skyly's nails, a lot of time we would talk, and I would always tell her, I was like, this is when I was trying to figure out who I am. So this was like maybe, I didn't really start figuring out my issues until like maybe 2-3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I was always telling her, I was like, I don't know who I am.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because all that's been thrown at me, again, is a wife,
Mm-hmm.
daughter.
Other people's ideas.
Yes, other people's ideas, you know? And so it's kind of like whenever people ask, oh, what do you like doing, Melissa? And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
I don't know. And it's kind of sad that it is what it is, but it's,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I'm pretty sure we're not the only ones who feel like this,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And so it was a lot of, I don't know who I am. You know, like the Jackie Chan movie, Who Am I? When he's like
Yeah.
yelling, and he says, who am I?
Mm-hmm.
That's literally what I basically did to Skyly. It's like, I don't know who I am.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because a lot of the times it was, again, serving other people, doing this for other people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, until you get to a breaking point where you're just like,
What
dang,
about me?
I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know if I like it or if it's just because it's been drilled into my head
Right.
that I like it, you know? And so, yeah. It was just, yeah.
It's tough when you realize it, when you're like, oh shit, I don't know who I am.
Yeah, or I don't know
what I like and stuff like that. And so, and a lot of times when you tell people that, they'll be like, well, then, you know, get yourself out there and go figure out what you like. And, you know, and it's like, it's easy to say for single folk, because, you know, they don't have any responsibilities to other
Little
beings.
human beings.
Little human beings.
Yeah.
You know, so for me, it's hard because I don't have that luxury of time and money to go out and figure out what my hobbies are or my interests are. You You know, because like even right now, as I'm talking, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, damn, I do not have. I mean, I could make time to go try some stuff, but I don't have the money to do that. You know, or if I end up do having the money, it's kind of like I still have a little one at home, so where am I going to put that little one while I go, you know, search on and see what interests me.
Right.
So I'm kind of at the kind of between a rock and a hard place, I guess you could say. You know, where I want to go out there and figure out who I am, but at the time I can't because I have responsibilities. You know, and some people don't understand that, or people who do somewhat understand, they don't wholeheartedly understand, because you know there's some people who do have free help,
Yeah, or they can afford help.
or can afford help and
Yeah.
go do all that stuff. Some people can't. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do that. You know, because I always hear you're still young, you can go back to college and figure out what you want to be. And I'm just like, no, I cannot. You know, I may be young, I may have still time to go back to college, but why would I want to pick up college right now when my youngest is 2, and if I want to go for my like bachelor's or whatever, it's I can't do full time. You know, I can't do full time. I have to do part time. So to get a bachelor's, that'll take me twice as long, which is what, 8 years, just to have a bachelor's and what? You know, that's 8 years. I would be 43, 44, depending. You know, and so it's just kind of like, I don't know if I want to do that. I mean, I do, you know, because that way I have, you know, some type of career or whatever. But then I don't, because I want to be around my kids. You know, and then also there's the other part of me where it's like, I want to be something else besides being a mom.
And then other people are always like, well, it's going to take you 8 years to finish it, but if you decide to not go, 8 years is still going to pass anyway. So you're still going to be unhappy
No matter.
8 years, no matter what you do. That's what a lot of people argue too.
Yeah. But you guys also forget, it costs money to go to college.
College is not easy.
Yeah, college is not easy, and it is not cheap, especially nowadays.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's what a lot of older people don't realize is how costly it is to go to college. And like, if you're already in debt, why would you want to put yourself in more debt and not be able to pay it later? Type of thing. So it's very hard to think about. It's like, it's tough stuff to think about. So
It's very adult stuff to think about, because I know when we were younger, when I was first entering college, I didn't want to go to college because I didn't want to take out all those loans, you know, but then our uncles and family members were like, think of it as an investment in yourself. And in my head, I was always like torn between, because it's like, I get it, it's an investment in myself, but it's something that I'm not going to school for that I like. So technically, it's not really an investment for myself. You know, so it was a lot of back and forth pulling, and now I'm in the hole from that degree.
30 deep in the
Yeah. Which, according to people, that's not a lot, but
yeah, there's people that have like 100K,
hundreds.
100K in the hole at least.
yeah, you know, but it's something that, like, I just got as a general degree because, you know, I wasn't sure. And it was a good degree to fall back on, but it's something that, I mean, is good for the experience, but am I ever going to use it? I mean, it got me the job now, but, I mean...
yeah, will you actually ever truly use it?
Yeah,
To
it's not what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about you guys? Anna? Molly?
Molly, you can, because I could talk anybody's ear off.
Yeah. What about you? Since you're basically a younger generation
Yeah,
of us,
so-
what do you think?
I mean, I would agree with you where I figured that I would have been like married and have kids by like 25. But now that I'm thinking about it, I was like, we forget how society's evolving and the way the world is changing too. So that also has an input into it as well.
I feel like you're very calm.
Me?
Yeah. Like you're more calm than me, Michelle. Because me, Michelle, I feel like we were like, oh my God, we gotta get married. We gotta do this. We gotta do this. And then you're just kind of like, whatever happens, happens, man.
Well, it's like, I mean, I had like an idea of wanting like to be married and have kids, but I didn't expect it to be like actually at that age. Because like, I guess, like you said, when you get older, you kind of just see where you're at that age already, and you kind of can see that, oh, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Kind of. And then it's like, it also, you like, if you look around to like in Korea, where most people, they don't get married to like in their late 20s and early 30s.
Mm-hmm.
And some that don't even have kids until like late 30s and maybe sometimes early 40s too. And so I don't know. I mean, I'm happy the way I am right now. I mean, yeah, I wish things in the past that I could have changed, but that's the past, and you kind of just, it happened for a reason,
Mm-hmm.
and because of that outcome, you're currently where you are right now. I don't know. Yeah, that's basically what
So
I'm
you're
thinking about.
so
yeah.
you're okay where you're at
Yeah.
right now. Like,
I mean, yeah, sure, there's things that I wish that I could have changed in the past, but like I said, they happen for a reason, so kind of like, I guess, because also in high school, I mean, I kind of had like the last 2 years of my high school like to myself, so I kind of was able to somewhat explore myself a little bit.
mm-hmm.
So I did a lot of art stuff, so I was able to do that by myself. So I enjoyed that. But I mean, I guess right now I'm just like, if I wanted to do something artsy, then yeah, I can do it. If I want to, kind of.
Mm.
But then I can also do something else rather than that. That's more important, I guess. But yeah, that's what my thought process is right now.
Yeah.
But that's because I'm like a little younger, and like you said, it's still like kind of discovering yourself around at this age too.
And I think by like your guys' high school time, excuse me, they were like rolling out like new thought processes and new
Yeah.
ways to do things, innovative ways compared to like us when we were in high school. It was just high school.
Yeah.
But
Is
like
it
with
this way
y'all,
or the highway?
yeah, but with y'all, they like introduced, oh, you can do college early. You can do these college classes early. And with Liam, when Liam gets to high school, he can get his associate's degree by the time he graduates high school.
Honestly, that wasn't really like that big portion of it.
Yeah.
It was not introduced until after I graduated. I think the only
Oh.
thing that was released was that we were able to take college classes.
Which is still a big thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like,
Cause that
I mean,
came
yeah,
out-
you could take college classes, but it is from what I remember, it didn't really count
No,
for
it should've
college. It's just an extra like course that you took, but you still would have to take it in college. Because I took college algebra in high school, but then I still had to take college algebra for college, and I'm just like,
Oh,
that's
it wasn't.
dumb.
So you took the class called college algebra, but
Yes.
it wasn't credited.
Yeah, it wasn't credited. It was just
Oh hell no.
yeah. So I was just like,
Mm-mm.
that's dumb. But okay, I was like, but I didn't mind math because math was pretty easy to learn, so I didn't really care. So, I mean, I helped. There's always that one student that comes to me and asks me to help her with her stuff. Luckily, it was a girl I went to high school with, so she would always ask me, "Do you know how to do this?" I'm like, "Yeah, you just do this and this and this." I mean, my teacher was a pretty good teacher too for college. Because he's like, yo, it's simple as this. You just got to move this over to this, and it's the same thing. And I'm just like, oh, that's one way to do it. Because he hates working through the book.
Mm.
So I guess, yeah. Yeah, I guess I'm not like you guys where you're like, oh my God. I mean, I was at one point because, like you said, where the uncles and all, they would like pressure us to like go to college and everything. But I was just like, but why do I need to go to college when I don't even know what to do?
Yeah.
You know, and then plus they didn't really approve like what we were interested in,
Yeah.
and so I was just like, I don't have to listen to y'all. Y'all not listening to me, so
Yeah. Which we love you guys, by the way, but sometimes if we don't want to do it, we don't want to do it.
yeah,
Okay?
it's just there's no point of me pursuing
Yeah.
it when like it's not it's not something I want.
Yeah. we're not going to go to school for IT when
It's not
we
something
don't
I
like
enjoy.
IT. Yeah, it makes good money, but there's more to life than that. You know, I'm not
Yeah.
going to go into hundreds of $1,000s of debt for something I don't like.
Just working at like my workplace, and I'm seeing like all the IT people and they're just back to back on IT tickets, and I'm just like, yo, I just need a fax number. You just need to fix that, and then come back, and then could go back to your other tickets.
Yeah.
And I'm just seeing them struggle with all that stuff, because I met with one of our IT workers in the office, and then he's like, yeah, it's a lot easy, and like this, and then I'm just sitting there, I'm like, cool. Can you fix my computer now? It's like, I understand you're making it sound like it's easy, but I'm just like, hurry up. I just need my stuff done. But,
Well, it's good that your guys' generation changed after ours.
I wouldn't say, like, I mean, yeah, I would say majority of our generation,
yeah.
yeah, but there's still some that are,
I think she considered Gen Z, right?
honestly.
I think so, yeah. You're considering
Because Gen Z, you can see the differences between the way that we think and right now, how we rationalize and how we look at like what our goals are. Because we're freaking out, but she's like, I will only do what I want to do, and I don't want to listen to somebody that
Which is
doesn't
good.
support me, which
Yeah.
is good.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like, yeah, I'm a Gen Z, but I still grew up in the millennial area, so I still have somewhat like the panic and anxiety stuff too, but it's just not for certain things. Yeah,
As ours is.
and it's like, for me, it's not like the things that you guys would be worried about, but just other stuff. But I don't know.
And I think it's also because you're the baby, too. The
Yeah.
baby girl in the family, too. So all those dynamics kind of
She is
make you
she is
calmer.
the Gonzal.
Yeah, makes you calmer compared to me and Michelle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't have the kind of pressure that we did.
Yeah.
So therefore, you're kind of just sailing kind of smoothish through life right now.
Yeah.
I think that and then I've seen it too, like with you guys. So I was just like, I kind of know how it will turn out based off what I've seen. So I kind of usually just try to like avoid it,
You sound like my sister.
Yeah.
That's exactly what she says.
Yeah, like,
Sam?
because like, you see it, and it's like, you know what happens, and so you just hop over somewhere else and try to go around it,
We know.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah, Sam is the baby, too. The baby girl.
Yep. She
Yeah.
was the baby girl, so she says the same thing. So, yeah.
Do whatever you can to avoid conflict.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dictionary over here. Terms.
I mean, everybody would like to avoid conflict, but sometimes when you can't avoid it,
You kind of have to confront
Yeah, you kind of
yeah,
have to,
you
yeah.
have to confront it.
Or you think you know, oh, I know. But no, you don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which happens quite often, yeah.
What about you, Miss Anna?
Well, what does Miss Anna think? Oh, well, I think that mine's, I've mentioned in previous episodes, I've been going to therapy for like almost, I was at 3.5 years now, almost 4, and I had the same questions that Melissa had, where I'm like, what do I like? What I don't even know what I like, but I don't even know what I want to do, and crying to my therapist. And I am so grateful for her. But my answer to that question is yes, I'm happy. I'm very happy with where I am in my life right now.
Oh,
Because thank you.
yeah, that's good.
Because I've put the work in. So my recommendation is, if anybody out there feels the same way and they don't know what they want to do, there's professionals out there that can help you. They're not going to tell you, but they're going to help you so you understand yourself a lot better. And it's going to be up to you whether or not you want to listen to that. So it took me 2 years to listen to that. I'm happy because I've always wanted to have this confidence about myself and goal for what I want to do, and not have that fear of I don't want to do it because, like, what if this? What if that? Because now I'm like, I know that this is what I like and this is what I want to do right now. So I'm going to go ahead and go after it. Because tomorrow's not promised, like what you said.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to do it. So, yeah, I'm as right now, I am content with my life. And I'm happy because I no longer have those, like, I don't know what to do, or like, blah, blah, blah. I do here and there, but it's not as drastic as that anymore. It's more of like, I don't know what I want to eat for dinner, and that's it, So,
Yeah.
yeah. So that, to answer that question, that's where I'm at. I'm very happy, and I really encourage our Hmong brothers and sisters out there, or any of our viewers, listeners, to go get professional help, because it's so underrated right now to get help by someone that literally went to school and has the skills to teach you and help you guide your way through life, because that's essentially what they're doing, and you don't have to figure it out all by yourself. So yeah, I'm happy. Where am I
That's
at?
good.
Thanks. You'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another great thing about going to professionals who can help you like that is for people who are afraid on being judged. Because, like, some people don't want to lean on family members or friends because they're afraid of being judged or being scolded or any of that.
Misunderstood.
Yeah, any of that stuff, or made to think that their problems are, little and not.
You're weird.
Or that their problems don't matter.
So
Yeah,
what?
or that your
Yeah,
problems
you're
don't
weird.
matter at all.
Yeah.
That's what the professionals are for. They're there to be unbiased, unjudgmental, because they literally don't know you. They look at you in a observing way, I guess. Yeah, so they don't know the weird side of you or whatever like that, unless you want them to know, which is great because it'll help them understand you more. Therefore, they can help you and give you the tools that you need to, find yourself. Whereas, where family members or friends, they might just criticize you and stuff like that. Professionals won't, unless you need it, like constructive criticism. So, yeah, if you need somebody who won't judge you and will actually give you something that works or may work for you, then yes, therapy or any type of professional life coach or whatever would definitely be good for you.
And you also got to be vulnerable with yourself too,
Yes.
and be honest with yourself, because since I've done the work now, there's certain things that I look at in my situation. I'm like, damn, Anna, you need to chill down. Like, you need to chill the F, like, chill,
Yeah.
Or I would be like, why did they treat me that way? Because I don't deserve to get treated that way. And so, like, I will actually put my foot down in a respectful way. And I would be like, the way that was handled was not right. And I don't deserve that. And nobody should deserve that. So let's do this again. So, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm still learning that because there is an issue that happened at work to where I reverted back to my old ways where I'm like, no, I did this and I did that and I think I did this and yeah, I think I did that. And then I stopped for a minute and I was like, no, I know how I work. I know who the hell I am. And I told him this, and this. I told my boss that, this is how I work. So it wasn't my fault. Because I know how I am.
Right.
Kind
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Stop second guessing yourself.
Yeah. Again, and it comes with, age, experience, things like that, I guess. It comes from your self-worth, pretty much,
That, and I learned, it was a really hard lesson for me to learn that if I mess up on something or if I make a mistake, it's just something, you acknowledge it and then you move on. And that was really something that was really hard for me to process. And so, and I see that reflect over like when you work on your personal life, you see it reflect over in all areas. And so I'm like, wow, this bleeds over into like, you know, work and everything too. And I'm like, okay, I made a mistake, but all right, move on. You know, so.
Yeah. Do you guys have any advice for like younger people, or like advice for, I don't know, our viewers, anything like that?
On like coming of age?
Yeah, either becoming of age or like just stuff that you learned from born till now.
I mean,
You know?
always listen to advice that anyone gives you, whether you asked for it or not. But just pick out whatever that's useful for you in that speech. Yeah. Because no matter what, whether you want it or not, somebody's always going to try to give you advice. You know, and just to go smoother through life, just let them say their piece, and then just take from it what you can or want to take from it, because it might actually help you later on. So,
Well, my advice, I said a little earlier, is to go get professional help, because you know, our targeted audience it can be anyone, but it's mainly for our Hmong brothers and sisters out there. And as children of immigrants, we already carry a lot with us. You know, our parents come to this country, they work because they're trying to survive. But we're now at the point of our life, you know, thankful to them, that we get the luxury of, okay, well, hey, you know, they were here to survive. Now I get to actually try to have a good quality life.
To thrive.
You know, and then what am I going to do for that? And that's going to be hard, because we're stuck in that middle space where, you know, we're no longer surviving, but we still feel that ingrained in us. And so what can we do to navigate? That's why I said to go seek professional help, because if you are, I'm going to tell you this now, if you're a Hmong and you did not go seek therapy, you's a liar, because you're going to need help. And just like many other people of color, there's a lot of things that we go through that certain populations don't go through. And unpacking that with a professional is going to be a great start for you to kind of figure out where to go. And I guess my second piece of advice would be, if you're young, and because I know that a lot of people always ask advice, like, what do I do when they're young? Just make mistakes.
Yeah.
Make mistakes, and then acknowledge it, and then move on. So, yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Molly? You got any advice?
I don't know. I think if you just think, if they think that it's right, you know, then just do it. Just be cautious of your actions, I guess. Like, kind of just
Think of all the consequences.
ahead of time. And just, I mean, I guess you don't have to, I guess you can, like Michelle said, listen to other people's advice and everything, but just pay attention to the things that are more important to you, I guess. But yeah.
For me, I don't know. There's a lot. So, like, for me, somebody who struggled a lot, one of them would be not to take everything so personally. It's not about you. You know, a lot of things that happen, shit that happens, it's not about you. It's about, you know, let's say if you got into an argument with somebody for, like, no reason, it's not about you sometimes. It's about that person and what they're dealing with.
And what they're deflecting onto you.
Yes. And so, especially, like, us with, you know, immigrant parents, us with other people, it's not about you. It's them, you know. And that took a lot of learning for me to understand that, because it was always for me, what did I do wrong? What did I not do? What should have done to make them happy or to please them, or, you know, to make sure this fight did not happen. You know, in reality, it wasn't me. It was them the whole time, you know. So I think that's one of the biggest advices that I would give to other people, and probably to my younger self, is, you know, it's not about you.
It's not you, it's them.
Yeah. And yeah, it's not you, it's them. So, yeah. Do you guys have anything else to add to this podcast of coming of age?
I mean, there's a thing about, like, how I said earlier, that I'm content with life, but there's always room for improvement.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, I guess that'd be, like, something else to add is, like, you know, even if you feel like you're content, there's always room for improvement. Or if you think that you're not happy with where you're at, you know, like, just as long, honestly, if you can identify that you're not happy and all that stuff already, that's something that you have to acknowledge. Acknowledge your small wins.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, you know, everybody always looks at the big wins, but never the little wins, you know. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and also, it's never too late. It's never too late
to chase your dream.
Chase your dreams, to change, to do anything you want to do. It's never too late. That's something, again, I'm still understanding. Again, now that I'm 30, it's never too late. So try to have more grace with yourself.
Yeah, if you have dreams, if you have goals, you know, go for it. You know, but like Melissa said, give yourself some grace if it's not happening right away.
Yeah.
It's like that Vera Wang lady. She didn't do well until she was in her 40s.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Like her wedding collection, everything. Oh, she didn't become very out there until, in her, maybe, I think her 40s.
Yeah, it's all like a matter of your perception.
Yeah.
And how you think. And hopefully one day, you know, all of us and everybody out there will finally see who they are and love themselves more. Because in the end, who got your back? You.
You are your number one fan.
Before you can try to get someone to love you, do you even love yourself?
Like, yes, myself. With a little flag.
Do you even love yourself, you know?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so. All right. I'm guessing this is how we're going to end episode 4. Thank you guys for listening and for watching and for following us on Instagram and YouTube. Check out next week for our next podcast. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Source Podcast.